Hey, so that Stop Online Piracy Act was quite the little adventure. Biggest online protest in history? My. The whole thing had me rereading Fahrenheit 451 and poking through 1984. But to get to the point, anime and censorship have a long and interesting relationship, and the study of that relationship leads to a lot of interesting anime artifacts, like how Toonami basically invented painting onto a series, or that big ruckus fans have made again and again when a series got edited in comparison to the unedited. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. No, being that it's a con weekend for me, I figured I'd do something easier on myself, and seeing how it's somewhat topical, do another broad episode. So, SOPA, Pipa, and the broader topic, censorship. How would it affect anime? Well, you guys know how I feel about piracy, so why don't we just touch on that whole censorship thing? So, when we think of censorship, what do we think of? Well, obviously the restriction of information, right? Maybe let me put it like this. The hiding of knowledge. That sounds about right. So the book 1984 was all about censorship. Of the government type. It was about a world where we had given so much control to the government that they could erase people if they wanted to. It's an interesting read and is basically required for anyone who's really interested in any type of liberal or political art. And the book is basically what everyone was getting so worked up over with this SOPA bill. We don't want any government invading our media and blocking our free form of information flow. And that's a reasonable desire, I'd say. But let's quickly return to that definition I made earlier. The hiding of knowledge. For censorship. Is there any other way that we can think of to hide knowledge? In stark contrast to 1984's tight control on information, Fahrenheit 451 saw a different world. See, in Fahrenheit 451, books are illegal, and anyone found with books gets their whole house burned down. That's not really the issue. There are still books, but they're only accessible via gigantic flat-screen televisions. As a side note, it's really crazy all the predictions that were made in this book about the world to come. Anyway, Fahrenheit 451 is a world filled to the brim with media. From literal constant radio, to rooms with TVs for walls, all playing different TV shows at the same time, this is a world not so acquainted with silence. I would argue that all this constant noise and media, is a different kind of censorship, but censorship all the same, one that's actually much more frightening, in that we've already entered that age. An age of information irrelevancy. I asked earlier, can we think of any other way to hide knowledge? Well, easily, by giving us way too much of it. For a long time, the restriction of free-flow information hasn't been our problem. No, our problem for now and in the foreseeable future is the great irrelevancy of information. SOPA, as I see it, was a far lesser problem to the one that we already have. But I digress. I'm really getting off topic here. So what does 1984 and Fahrenheit 451 have to do with anime? Well, I don't like the idea of government-created anime any more than I like the idea of censored anime, but okay, so let me tell you about this great new program Funimation has that I love. It's a streaming service like Hulu or Crunchyroll, but I know all the proceeds go right to Funimation. It's totally free too, but if you want to pay this tiny little penance of $8 a month, then you get some extras also, like simulcasts and staff commentary, things of that nature. Funimation has given this service a huge library, and suddenly, my point is starting to reveal itself. Scroll this list, or Crunchyroll's or Hulu's anime. There is so much out there and so little information on it all. We're talking hundreds of series and movies. No one could possibly know about them all. This problem is what I think hurts DVD sales. I mean, who wants to risk the time it takes to watch a big series, let alone the huge chunks of money it takes to watch an anime that they may not even like? This overflow of anime is good in that choices are good, but overflow has made many anime irrelevant in the flood. For instance, guys, I love Gurren Lagann, but frankly, I'm not much into mecha. On the flip side of that, I really love 80 Police Files, the 90s classic, but I freaking hate 80 Police, the early 2000s remake. I've been doing this anime thing hit or miss style for a long time now, and I'm used to it, but I know that's not the best way to do things. So here's my overly belonged point on this admittedly short episode. Do you like anime? Got a favorite or two? Recommend them to some of your friends, or tell them what you do and don't like. Talk about the art, the music, the character development, the story. Do you really love anime? We need more reviewers, guys. Good reviewers. Not what I'm doing. Why is it that I can hop onto YouTube and find a review for the game Athena on the NES, a forgotten and awful game, But you can't find a review for the fantastic Battle Athletes pilot, a classic that was quite popular in its day. We need more accessibility in our community, guys. It's a simple fix. We just need lots of people doing it. So that's it for now. I'm brewing some knowledge, and I hope that you guys are also now, so that together we can trim some of this fat that we have a problem with.